Chosen one, stop. Do not scroll past this. What I am about to tell you will hurt to hear, but it will heal you in ways that comfort never could. God is taking things from you, and you need to stop fighting to keep them. I know this is not the message you wanted. You came here hoping to hear about what is coming, about what is being added, about blessings being poured out and doors being opened. But tonight, heaven has a different word, a harder word. A word that will feel like surgery before it feels like salvation. God is not just adding to your life, He is subtracting from it. And everything He is removing on purpose. At exactly 3:33 this morning, I was pulled into a vision that disturbed me deeply. I was standing in a room that looked like a surgical theater in heaven. The walls were white and glowing. The instruments were not made of steel but of light. And on the operating table was a person whose face I could not see. Standing over them was God Himself, not as a king on a throne, as a surgeon in scrubs. His hands were steady. His focus was absolute. And He was cutting. I watched as He removed something from the person's chest. It looked beautiful. It looked valuable. It looked important. But when He held it up to the light, I saw that it was rotten on the inside. What appeared precious was actually poisonous. What seemed essential was actually killing them. Then God spoke without looking up from His work. He said, "This is what I do for my chosen ones. I remove what they think they need. I subtract what they believe is blessing. I cut away what they have been fighting to keep, not because I am cruel, because I can see what they cannot. What looks like treasure to them looks like tumor to me. What feels like loss to them feels like liberation to me. They cry over what I am removing. They do not realize I am saving their life." Then the person on the table began to wake up, and I realized the person was you. You are in God's surgery room right now. He is removing things from your life, and you have been fighting Him, begging Him to stop, crying over what is being cut away. But tonight, you will understand why the subtraction is necessary, why the removal is mercy, why letting go is the only way forward. Do not skip this message. Do not scroll away. If you leave before the seventh removal is revealed, you will keep fighting to keep what is killing you. Stay with me until the end. The surgery is almost complete, and what remains will be worth everything that was removed. Before we go deeper, I need you to do something. Type, "I release what God is removing" in the comments below. This is not just typing. This is your consent to the surgery. You are telling God that you will stop fighting Him. The angels are waiting for your surrender. Type it now and subscribe immediately. Turn on all notifications. What comes after this video will reveal what God is adding after the subtraction. Miss it, and you will only understand the removal, not the replacement. Subscribe now. You did not find this video by accident. You found it because you are on the operating table. God scheduled this revelation, and the surgery cannot be postponed. I know what you have been experiencing. Things have been falling away. People have been leaving. Opportunities have been closing. Dreams have been dying, and you have been wondering if God has abandoned you, if He is punishing you, if you did something wrong, if the blessings have been blocked because of your failures. But God says tonight, "I have not abandoned you. I am operating on you." The removal you are experiencing is not rejection. It is surgery. I am cutting away what does not belong so that what does belong has room to grow. Stop interpreting my scalpel as my rejection. I only operate on those I intend to heal. The pain you feel is not punishment. It is the anesthesia wearing off as I complete the work that will save your destiny. Do not skip what comes next. The Spirit is about to reveal the 7 things God is removing from your life and why you must stop fighting to keep them. Removal 1. Relationships that have reached their limit. The first thing God is removing is people. Not all people, specific people. People whose assignment in your life has ended. People whose presence now blocks what is coming. God says, I brought certain people into your life for a season. They served a purpose. They taught you something. They carried you through something. But their assignment has ended. And when an assignment ends, presence becomes obstruction. What once helped you now hinders you. What once built you now blocks you. I am removing them not because they are bad people. I am removing them because they are wrong season people. And keeping wrong season people in a new season will cost you everything I have prepared. I know this hurts. You loved them. You invested in them. You believed they would be there forever. But not every relationship is meant to be permanent. Some people are scaffolding, not structure. They were essential for the building phase, but scaffolding is removed when the building is complete. You have been crying over scaffolding. You have been begging God to keep what was always meant to be temporary. The leaving is not betrayal. It is graduation. Their assignment is complete. Jesus spoke over this removal. He said, I told my disciples that it was better for them that I go away. John 16:7. Even my physical presence had to be removed so the Spirit could come. If I understood the necessity of my own removal from those I loved, you must understand the necessity of others being removed from you. The grief is real, but the purpose is greater. Let them go. What comes next requires empty hands. Ecclesiastes 3:1-6 activates over your relationships. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to give up, a time to throw away. This is that time. Within 14 days, the removal will become clear. Someone will exit, a door will close. A connection will end. Do not chase them. God is making room for who is coming. Relationships that have reached their limit are removal 1. Do not skip. The second removal is even more personal. Removal 2. The version of you that kept you safe but small. The second thing God is removing is a version of yourself. The version that protected you. The version that helped you survive. The version that you have been living as for years. God says, you created a version of yourself to survive what you went through. This version was cautious. This version was guarded. This version did not dream too big or reach too far. This version kept expectations low, so disappointment would be manageable. I honored this version because it served a purpose. It got you through, but now it is time for this version to die. Not because it was wrong, because it is finished. The survival version cannot carry the thriving destiny. The protected version cannot handle the exposed calling. I am killing who you had to be so you can become who you were always meant to be. This is why you have been feeling the internal tension. The old you is dying, and death always feels like crisis before it feels like resurrection. You have been trying to hold on to the old identity, the one that knew how to manage pain, the one that knew how to keep people at a distance, the one that knew how to want less so you could hurt less. But that version cannot go where you are going. The small version cannot carry the large calling. The survival identity cannot steward the abundant life. You are not having a breakdown. You are having a breakthrough. The old you is being surgically removed, and the real you is finally being revealed. Archangel Michael declared over your transformation, I have watched you wear armor that no longer fits. I have seen you carry weapons designed for a war that has already ended. The old version of you was a warrior, but warriors must become kings. Soldiers must become rulers. The identity that fought to survive must now die so the identity that was born to reign can emerge. Stop mourning the death of who you were. Start celebrating the birth of who you are becoming. 2 Corinthians 5:17 activates over your identity. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone. The new is here. The old has gone. Not going, gone. The new is here, not coming, here. Within 21 days, you will not recognize yourself. The way you think will change. The way you respond will shift. The old you is being removed, and the real you is finally being born. The old version of yourself is removal too. Hold on. Do not leave. The third removal will shock you. Removal 3. Dreams that were never yours to begin with. The third thing God is removing is certain dreams. Not all your dreams, specific dreams. Dreams you thought were from God but were actually from other sources. God says, not every dream in your heart was planted by me. Some were planted by parents who lived vicariously through you. Some were planted by culture that told you what success looks like. Some were planted by your own ego-seeking validation. Some were planted by wounds seeking healing through achievement. I am removing dreams that were never yours. Not to leave you empty, to make room for the dreams I actually placed in you before you were born. The dreams being removed feel like loss because you built your identity around them. But they were never your true identity. They were distractions dressed as destiny. This is devastating to hear. You invested years in certain dreams. You sacrificed relationships for them. You defined yourself by them. And now God is saying some of them were never His plan. But here is the mercy in the removal. Chasing the wrong dream will never satisfy. Achieving the wrong goal will leave you empty. God is not removing your future. He is removing the counterfeit so the real one can emerge. Jesus spoke over your dreams. He said, I know the plans I have for you. Jeremiah 29:11. Notice, I said the plans I have, not the plans your parents have, not the plans society has, not the plans your ego has. Many of my children are exhausted because they are chasing plans I never made. They are building ladders against the wrong walls. They are climbing mountains I never asked them to climb. Let me remove the dreams that drain you, so I can reveal the dreams that will fulfill you. Within 72 hours, a dream will begin to die. Something you thought you wanted will start losing its grip. Do not resuscitate it. Let it go. The dream God actually has for you cannot enter until the counterfeit exits. Dreams that were never yours are removal 3. Do not skip. The fourth removal is about freedom. Removal 4. The need for everyone's approval. The fourth thing God is removing is your addiction to approval. The constant seeking of validation. The exhausting performance for acceptance. The prison of other people's opinions. God says, you have been enslaved to approval your entire life. Every decision filtered through what others might think. Every risk evaluated by how others might react. Every dream measured against whether others would approve. This addiction has cost you everything. It has kept you from speaking what you should speak. It has stopped you from going where you should go. It has silenced the voice I placed in you. I am removing this need, not because approval is bad, but because your need for it has become your God. And I do not share my throne with the opinions of others. How much of your life has been lived for an audience? How many decisions were made to please people who are not even thinking about you? How many dreams were buried because someone might disapprove? The need for approval is one of the most expensive addictions. It costs you authenticity, it costs you calling, it costs you the very life you were created to live. God is removing this need. You will begin to care less what people think. You will start speaking even when it is unpopular. You will make decisions that confuse those who thought they knew you. This is not you becoming arrogant. This is you becoming free. Archangel Michael declared over your freedom. The approval of humans is a chain that looks like a necklace. It feels like honor, but it functions like bondage. I am watching God remove this chain from chosen ones all over the earth. When it falls off, they feel naked at first, exposed, vulnerable. But then they realize they can breathe, they can move, they can run. The weight they carried their entire lives was never meant to be carried. Let the chain fall, let the addiction die. Let the opinions of others become irrelevant to the calling of God. Galatians 1:10 activates over your freedom. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. You cannot serve Christ and your addiction to approval. One must die. God is choosing for you. The addiction is being removed. Within 21 days, you will feel the shift. Something someone says will not affect you like it used to. An opinion that would have devastated you will barely register. The removal is working. The need for approval is removal 4. Stay until the end. The 5th removal is about your plans. Removal 5, the timeline you created instead of God's timeline. The 5th thing God is removing is your schedule, your projected timeline, your expected dates of delivery, your assumptions about when things should happen. God says, you have been tormented by a timeline you created yourself. You decided when you should be married, when you should be successful, when you should have achieved certain things, when you should have arrived. And every day that passes your timeline creates anguish. You feel behind, you feel late, you feel like a failure, but your timeline was never my timeline. I never agreed to your schedule. I never signed off on your projections. I am removing your timeline so you can finally live in mine. My timeline does not create anxiety. It creates peace, because in my timeline, you are exactly where you need to be. How much pain has your timeline caused you? The comparison to others who seem ahead, the anxiety about falling behind, the desperation that comes from self-imposed deadlines. Your timeline has been a torturer, not a guide. It has created suffering, not structure. It has produced pressure, not peace. God is removing it, not to leave you without direction, but to give you freedom from artificial urgency. Jesus spoke over your timeline. He said, "My time has not yet come." John 7:6, even I lived by the Father's timeline, not my own. I could have rushed the cross. I could have accelerated the ministry. I could have forced the timing. But I waited for the Father's schedule. Your destiny is not delayed. It is on time, on my time, and my time is always perfect. Stop grieving the death of your timeline. Start trusting the life of mine. Habakkuk 2-3 activates over your waiting, for the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. It will not delay on God's timeline. Nothing is delayed. Everything is exactly on schedule. Your schedule was the problem. His schedule is the solution. Within 14 days, peace will replace anxiety about timing. The pressure you have been feeling will begin to lift. Your timeline is being removed, and his timeline is taking its place. The timeline you created is removal 5. Do not skip. The 6th removal is about your comfort. Removal 6. The comfort zone that became a prison. The 6th thing God is removing is your comfort zone. The safe place that was meant to be temporary. The resting place that became a hiding place. The comfort that turned into confinement. God says, I gave you seasons of comfort so you could heal and prepare. But some of you have turned comfort into a permanent residence. What was meant to be a hospital bed became a coffin. What was meant to be recovery became retirement. Your comfort zone is now your prison zone. The walls that protected you now imprison you. The safety that restored you now restricts you. I am dismantling your comfort zone, not because I am cruel, because I refuse to let you die in a place that was only meant to heal you. Be honest with yourself. Has your comfort become captivity? Has your safe place become a small place? Has your rest become hiding? The comfort zone served a purpose. After trauma, you needed safety. After battle, you needed rest. But the comfort zone was never meant to be permanent. It was a hospital, not a home. God is forcing your exit. He is dismantling the comfort zone, whether you are ready or not, because staying there any longer will cost you your destiny. Archangel Michael declared over your exit, some of the greatest assignments in history almost never happened because chosen ones refused to leave comfort. Moses was comfortable in Midian. Jonah was comfortable avoiding Nineveh. Elijah was comfortable in the cave, but God disrupted every one of them. Comfort was killing their calling. Safety was strangling their significance. The same is happening to you. The disruption you are experiencing is not attack. It is deliverance from a prison that feels like paradise. Deuteronomy 1-6 activates over your comfort zone. The Lord our God said to us at Horeb, you have stayed long enough at this mountain. You have stayed long enough at this mountain of comfort, at this place of safety. At this season of hiding, God is moving you. Whether you feel ready or not, within 21 days, your comfort zone will be disrupted. Something that felt safe will become uncomfortable. Do not panic. God is dismantling the prison so you can walk into the calling. The comfort zone is removal 6. Stay until the very end. The 7th removal is the most painful to hear. Removal 7. The prayers God will not answer because He has something better. This is the final removal. This is the one that will challenge your faith the most. God is removing certain prayers from His answer list. God says, there are prayers you have been praying that I will never answer, not because I did not hear them, not because you do not deserve them, but because answering them would give you less than what I have planned. You have been praying for crumbs when I have prepared a feast. You have been begging for survival when I have planned abundance. You have been asking for comfort when I have designed adventure. Some of your prayers are too small. Some of your requests are beneath your destiny. I am not ignoring you. I am protecting you from answered prayers that would have imprisoned you in less than my best. This is hard to accept. You prayed so hard for certain things. You fasted, you wept, you believed, and God is saying He will not answer some of those prayers. But here is what you must understand. Unanswered prayer is sometimes the greatest mercy. Getting what you ask for can be the greatest tragedy, because sometimes what you ask for is less than what God has planned. The relationship you begged for might have blocked the one God prepared. The job you cried for might have caged you from the calling He designed. Unanswered prayer is often protection. It is God saying no to your good so He can say yes to His best. Jesus spoke over your unanswered prayers. He said, You do not know what you are asking, Matthew 20:22. I spoke these words to my own disciples when they asked for things that would have harmed them. The same is true for you. Some of your prayers reveal how little you understand what I have prepared. I am not ignoring your prayers. I am overruling them, because I love you too much to give you what would limit you. Stop grieving what I did not give. Start trusting that what I am giving is beyond what you could ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20 activates over what is coming. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. Immeasurably more than all you ask, than all you imagine. God is removing your small prayers so his massive answers have room. Within 72 hours, release a prayer you have been gripping. Let go of something you have been demanding. Trust that the unanswered request is making space for the